At the AI Readiness Project, we believe that in this remarkable age, AI isn't the main character. You are. While the tech is racing ahead, it's the humans who learn to harness AI mindfully that will win. Each week, we meet remarkable people doing just that. Join Kyle Shannon, tech leader and AI instigator, and 𝗏𝗏, fundraiser and AI consultant, as they lead the conversation about staying grounded, growing smarter, and leading with what makes us human.
Good day to you, 𝗏𝗏.
Good day to you, Kyle Shannon.
Listen, I'm not going to tell the people that you just got up from a nap if you don't tell them that I have a crusty eye.
They'll never know.
They'll never know. They'll never know. Now they're all like looking, zooming in on the screen.
You know what? Think about with your eye and my whatever being under the weather. This is one of the only places I would want to be other than my bed. I'm being totally honest.
Yeah.
There are very few things that would happily drag me out of bed when I just want to feel sorry for myself and I want my mom and I want Gatorade and I want Zesty crackers.
I like Gatorade.
But doing this is like, all right, I can get up. I can do this thing for an hour. You know,
Yeah,
I love
great.
our podcast. I don't know if the listeners, I think listeners like it.
I
I love it, so I don't care.
Yeah. So what's burning in your head other than a fever? What are you thinking about from an AI perspective these days?
Well, I carried a book with me on vacation, which is my equivalent of reading the book. Like, I took it all the way to Mexico with me. I have now absorbed the book.
Do you know how many books that I have given vacations to and never opened?
One of them was hardback, and my bag was like so heavy. So I have had security and privacy on my mind for, well, a couple of years. But prior to that, because we're going to talk with our guest today is from 𝗏𝗏, which you guys are in for a treat.
Yeah, Ken's amazing.
Yes. I'm the kind of person, and we are the kind of household, you know, we don't lock our doors. We don't lock our car doors. We're like, of course we should. We know that, you know, until fairly recently, my passwords were my dog's names. Like, I'm that girl.
Yeah.
And
there's post-it notes with all your passwords all around your computer. Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a mess. So we are getting 1Password. We were supposed to have a staff meeting about it today, but I was sick. By staff meeting, I mean me and Donnie in the kitchen. But I've really started to think about it, of course, because I'm surrounded by people who also think who think about it as well and have articulated some reasons why I might take a different approach to this. And it feels like every day we find another reason why we should be careful with our data. And this week, you know, the Claude bot, you know, the Molt bot or whatever fever that hit everyone. And, you know, you could probably describe it better than me, but very exciting, very enticing, and also pretty dangerous for our own data security and privacy. But the thing that I worry about the most is the exact thing that 𝗏𝗏 does. The thing that I worry about the most is who we are when we show up for each other. Are we who we say we are? Are we weirdos trying to steal IP in a meeting? Are we just waiting to say like the C word to some person in the DMs? Like, who are we when we show up, and how do we make sure we know? And then how do we in an in an election, how do we make sure that people who are who they say they are, especially for our elders who vote and watch stuff on TV and on the social medias?
Yep. Yeah, I had a conversation with my wife before I just went to Washington, D.C. to do some testimony. I was fancy, you know, talking on the Hill and at the White House.
I saw your suit.
My what?
It turns out you can wear a suit. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was a lovely jacket. Yes, thank you. I did that. And I said to Gabby, I said before I left, I said, if I FaceTime you and ask for money, here's our secret password. Because people are like, I'm out because I do the live every night. I mean, my likeness is, you want someone to clone, here you go. I'm everywhere, right?
Yeah.
The thing that, and I'm sure Ken's gonna have something to say about this, the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 thing, the thing that they did was they built this Reddit-like social network for all these agents to talk to one another, and they left the database unencrypted and unsecured. So everyone could get all of the API keys for all of the agents. So then this network that was supposed to be just agents talking to one another had humans impersonating agents.
Jesus Christ.
And saying ridiculous stuff that agents probably wouldn't have said, but everyone blamed it on the agent. So it's just an absolute mess. And I think if you carry this out, like it's now called OpenClaw because it was Claude and then it was multi, whatever. It doesn't matter. That is the first of what probably is going to be a year full of 2026 agent systems that are going to spin up agents. And right now they're going to be text-based agents and things like that. But probably by the end of the year, certainly into 2027, these agents are also going to have likenesses and voices and talking and things like that. Bless you. Bless you.
Thanks. Sorry.
That's okay. You got to do it. I may need to jump off screen and deal with my eye. Right now we think about, there are human beings that are going to do deep fakes of people and try to gain trust and things like that. That's going to start happening at scale, right? When these agents get voices, right? And it's not just one or two people acting like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Now it's 1,000 agents, going off and trying to do it. So it's going to get pretty serious pretty quickly. And a lot of us are unprepared. I mean, I don't think I'm prepared. I know it's coming, but am I really prepared for it? Not really.
Well, I don't know how we could prepare from not being able to tell fact from fiction.
Yeah.
That is so discombobulating and destabilizing. Like, think about it. Anytime you don't know, like, what is actually going on here, very destabilizing. And so I think that's going to be one of the biggest factors, is that we're all going to be running around like with no source of real truth that we can trust. However, this goes back to something that we've all talked a ton about, which is building this, like, Notebook LM called it a trust moat, building a trust moat around us, which is stuff like being in community, like doing things in real life, you going to DC.
Analog.
The thing is, yes, your likeness has been out, but and that could be that somebody could gank that, but you also have shown up for all these times. Like, you have quite the body of work to say, this is exactly how I operate.
Yeah. I'm weird enough that it's going to be tough to. I think people that have a bit more of a monotone delivery, they're up for it. It's going to be worse for them if you're all over the place.
I've told you have I told you my conspiracy theory about the way that Sam Altman talks?
No, please. This is great.
I've always believed, because he also dresses like Mr. Rogers, right? He's always got the little sweater and the pants. And he's very monotone, except for when he does the up talk at the end, like a Valley Girl. And I figured that he must do that so that it's going to be very, very easy to replicate him. Because it will. Not like you.
And he turned off, like Sora, he made it so you can replicate him. Like, I've got all those videos where I'm doing it with him. I think he's sort of leaning into it. And I think I really do think there's something to that. But I think there's something to just leaning into it and going, okay, if I'm going to be, deep fake, I'll, here, go deep fake me. Right. And like, I have one of those that when you make a deep fake of me, it makes an ad for Festivus, actually. Right now, I've got yeah, it's good. It's really good.
That's cool.
It's cool. So there's a positive side of this, but it's just we're entering an era. 2026 for me feels like the year where we all confront some piece of this technology where we go, oh, time to take it seriously.
Yes.
I think it's going to be time to take it seriously for job displacement, time to take it seriously for I've got to learn how to do this, time to take it seriously for deep fakes and identity protection. Like it just, this year feels like the year where, because the end of 2025, you could feel the acceleration starting. Yep. And the technologies were just getting good enough that, like, yep, okay, filmmaking stuff is good enough that, yeah, that's actually invading that space. And coding all of a sudden got good enough that coders are like, yeah, I don't really code anymore. Like even like 𝗦𝗵𝗲 𝗥𝗲𝗀𝗡 and senior engineers are like, yeah, that's not my job anymore, right? My job is now managing these things. So yeah, when we talk AI readiness, I think this year is probably more than any other year going to feel like managing and responding to major disruption.
Yep. It's starting.
And how do you do that? And I think one of the ways is you be in community, you be in some sort of practice where you're like, centering yourself and sort of let the chaos live around you to the point that it invades your space, deal with it. Right? I don't know, man.
I don't know, man, either. But I used.
Are you hearing anything from your community?
Yeah. So I since the beginning, we were like, what the parade of horribles? Like, what are all the awful things about AI? And I just had this vision of like the year everything goes bazonkers, and for me, that was not being able to separate fact from fiction. So for me personally, this year feels. I'm worried. I am in a state of worry. However, while we have people in She Leads AI who are so incredibly careful, and they are all the ones who know about all this stuff, like, one woman who works at it doesn't matter. She's amazing. And you would think that she is like in cahoots with AI, but she doesn't discuss anything that's not work. Zero. And she's she's a security person. Well, we hear a lot about it. We talk a lot about it. And there's always people who actually act on those things. And then there's people like me.
I was just going to say, and we call them nerds.
And we call them nerds. And then, we had a company, 𝗬𝗏, come and talk with us about being our sponsors for the year. And that kind of piqued our interest because they're data security and privacy. So there was that. So we get to learn more about that, and they do quizzes for us and all this kind of stuff. So that has helped make it a little bit less nerdy and more sort of just socializing it. And I think that enough of us are fearful about the deep fakes and being taken advantage of, and particularly worried about our parents, that when we need to press a couple of buttons to make sure that everybody can know that we really are who we are when we show up on screen, right? Yeah. I think that will pretty soon, probably this year, be a welcome opportunity.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a pressure. There's going to be a pressure. Like, someone's got to fix this, right? And we're gonna. Ken is working on.
Ken is going to fix it.
Ken's actually. You know what? Ken should fix this.
You know what? I feel like he's working on that.
Well, so why don't we do this? Why don't we do some promos? Why don't you talk about She Leads? I'll talk about AI Salon, and then let's get Ken up here and see if we're smoking the funny stuff, or if we're on track here.
She Leads AI we have a membership program, and people should join that. There's no question. It's an amazing opportunity to spend time with other women who are really, really leveled up. Some very brilliant women, and brilliant with AI. Everyone's brilliant. And also some who we get to help bring along, which is really satisfying and gratifying. So there's a membership community. We also have an academy where we've launched our 2 new cohorts, AI educator, certified AI educator, and AI consulting accelerator. We have other opportunities in our academy. And we're expanding into policy work, which is very exciting.
Good.
And we do lots and lots of events to bring people together. We hear it over and over and over again. People want to be together. So highly recommend, like Saturdays, we hold an event called Social Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon Pacific time. It's free. We're talking stellar education and fantastic conversation. I would love to invite any woman in your audience to join us for Social Saturday, and you get that link at 𝗕𝗓𝗵𝗀.ai.
Beautiful. Awesome. So let me tell you about the AI Salon. We created this the week that ChatGPT came out, and it's a community of about 4,000 AI optimists now, and people that are, thoughtfully putting humans at the center of the conversation about how we use AI. And we have this thing called the AI Salon Mastermind, and within it, we've created a daily practice. And so on a weekly basis, we're off this week, but we start next week. We start a new 10-week cycle, which is called the AI Salon Mastermind Practice Lab. And it's anyone who wants to design a daily practice for themselves centered around how they use AI. We've put together a framework that allows you to sort of navigate different components of your practice and exercises. And we're going to add in this cycle, we're going to add like the AI equivalent of like music scales, like very simple things to do on a daily basis. I'm really excited about it. So it's not just, you're not just going to have homework, you're going to have like practice to do, like scales.
Ooh, like going up and down the scales. Okay.
The AI equivalent of that. So I'm really excited about that.
Ooh,
anyway, so
that's
go
so
check
trippy.
it out. Yeah, it's really good. So let's bring up Mr. Ken Griggs. Ken, how are you, sir? Welcome to the AI Readiness Project. Oh, you're muted.
Well, Ken, there we go.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Hey, guys, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me here.
Welcome.
Awesome.
So we were saying, your QR code's just under your name. If you slide it either to the other side of the screen, maybe.
Oh, interesting. It looks to be opposite from my screen.
Oh, that's interesting. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, maybe this is the moment to describe what we're seeing on the screen. Then we introduce Ken.
Okay, good. So Ken, what are you hawking there with that there QR code?
Well,
he's hawking the QR code.
Exactly.
Well, so I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How would you know I'm real? How would you know I'm Ken? Right? How would you know I have anything to do with Julia Social or NotBot? Right? It's these days real-time deepfakes are a thing. I've been on enough podcasts. There's recordings of me. So there's how would you know that I'm Ken Griggs? So pretty much anybody could join your stream if they got the link and they looked like me. You would probably have accepted me in, right? Yeah. And if for some reason I had been unable to join, well, oh boy, who's the right one? Or if both of us joined, who's the right one, right? You would not have a way to know. So, okay, we need to be able to sign. Oh, now it's on the other side. Sign the any kind of content, right? And we need to be able to do it right now. Like we can't wait for StreamYard and YouTube and everybody else to build integrations for something that that works everywhere. And we need something that people can actually check themselves. So QR codes. This is a little bitty block of data. Oops, now it's on the other side. I never have it on this side. This is a little bitty block of data. And you can scan it with the free NotBot app. And what it's going to do is it's going to go check a huge number of digital signatures. Surprising, but it does take quite a few. And it's going to give you proof that this is me, right? On this, on this call right now. And it's going to include in there, might even be able to show what's in there, but it's going to show who I am. Right. It's going to show it's going to show my social media. So it's going to say NotBotOfficial at x.com. I could have chosen any of my other social media accounts to attach to it. And it's going to show, because I chose to include it, the last name directly off of my passport. Right. There is nobody else in the world who can put all of that stuff together and sign it. Hey, there you go. Exactly.
Ooh,
Nice.
we now know.
Aha. And
Now we know it's him.
Right?
I was not listening. I was scanning your QR code. It's
nice.
I now know it's you.
Right. Okay. Perfect. You had actually already flipped over to the add contact screen when you showed it there just a second ago. But the important thing in there is that there's a message, right? And that message says that this QR code, there you go, I'll get the pointing, right? That QR code, if I copy paste it anywhere, I mean, sure, it's an image. You can copy paste it anywhere. If that QR code shows up anywhere else, right? You look at it and say, oh, look, it says AI Readiness Project Podcast.
Yep.
And it gives a date and a time. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God.
And it gives a date and a time. And
that's so cool.
That is not something anyone could change. So you copy, you paste this somewhere else, and it's going to still say AI Readiness Project Podcast and a date and a time. So it'll be clearly wrong wherever else it shows up. Right.
That's amazing.
So now I've signed this. And in fact, I could have like a total AI avatar on, right? And, you know, if for example, I didn't want to show my face on this thing, no problem. In fact, I could even, you know, turn off my camera and like
we would know.
Only show the QR code and you'd be able to scan it and know it was really me.
Wow.
Right? So that's cool. You know, and you think about it, you know, there's a whole bunch of people out there who are trying to do things to detect AI. Look at that. Everybody's going to use AI for everything. Right?
Everybody's going to use AI for everything. I know. And those things don't work anyway. The AIs can work around them.
Right. Like this is probably the last time I ever get on a call where the only thing I have is a blur filter. Right. You know, there's going to be AI to touch up my appearance. There's going to be AI to do other stuff.
Mine does. Yeah.
And every AI detector is going to detect that. Does that make it fake?
Yeah.
It's not fake, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you get into the really trippy stuff about like, do we care if it's fake? Right? So if you come into our show and you, rather than deciding you don't feel like showing up, like so you send your avatar, it's a cat face or it looks exactly like you, or you turn off your thing, you turn off your camera. I'm really glad to know that it's connected to you. One of the things I wonder is, will there be a point where we don't care if it's you or your avatar? And when will that point happen? Like right now, I know we really, really care, but eventually will we still care? What do you think?
So I think we're rapidly approaching a point where your bots will be a part of your identity, right? And it is your bot acting on your behalf, right? Will have a certain set of privileges that you've given it that it can do on your behalf.
Yep.
And when it interacts with someone, it'll be able to show, hey, I'm working for this person. Okay, now we know whose bot it is. That's a really, really valuable thing.
That's important.
And
yeah,
right, exactly. And imagine, you know, when your bot shows up and talks to someone, it's also able to prove what it's been told to do, right? Just because it's working for you, bots hallucinate. They go crazy sometimes. I don't think they're going to figure out how to completely get rid of that if they don't even really know what's going on in all of those weights, right? And so it needs to be able to prove what task it's actually being given that it's trying to pursue, right? And so who it's working for, what it's been told to do, what privileges it's been given by you, and then the last important thing is what technology is that bot running? You know, if that bot is running in, you know, like Agent Force or AWS's new thing, or you know, or whatever, Semaphore, right here in Atlanta. Okay, maybe I trust that bot. But if it's, you know, Bob's Bot Buddies, right? Or some random something, maybe you don't trust the bot to be actually doing what it's been told to do. So there's a whole lot of stuff there. And in fact, and I totally didn't actually mean to get on this topic today, but The next thing after NotBot for my company is something called HonestBot. Cool. So that when your AI agents go out in the world, you can know what person, what NotBot they're working for, and you can know all of those 4 things I just said. So that so that now, you know, your agents as a part of your identity can prove that they are working on your behalf and what it is that they're supposed to do. So that's a really big deal coming. Like we just jumped like to the end of the year.
We just jumped to the punchline. We need you to introduce yourself. So let's reel it back, but I still want to learn more about NotBot. So you're not off the hook.
Right. One quick question here from a guest. How do you join if you don't have a passport?
Okay. So how do you, so right now today, you don't. We have to have some way to know that you really aren't a bot. So right now, there's, you know, if any site really wants to know you're not a bot, what they'll have you do is they'll have you hold up your driver's license and then do a little selfie thing so they can get a scan of your face. That should terrify you because now they have all the information they need to pretend to be you on any other site. And the very moment that site that asked that information gets hacked, right? Who knows who has all that data? And now they can go be you, right? So it's so that's a really terrible way to do it. And there's a site out there called onlyfake.org, and they will generate hyper realistic images of somebody holding up a fake driver's license, and they'll just create the driver's license, right? We're already to a point where real-time deepfakes are a thing that you can run. You just download it, open source, and be a real-time deepfake. Those technologies to identify who's human online are already broken by AI. If I'm going to create a thing called NotBot, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be able to distinguish humans from bots, I can't use stuff like that because it's fakeable by a bot. Right? So we start with a passport. The back of your passport has a NFC chip in it. The data on that NFC chip is signed by the issuing government. And so when you scan it, we know for sure that really is your passport. Now, here's something important. My company does not get that data, right? I'm not able to track you. I don't have your email address. I don't have your phone number. I don't have any information about your device. I don't have your any of the information from your passport. I don't have your Apple ID. I literally have nothing whatsoever about you. We use a bit of fancy math called multi-party computation and we developed some cool algorithms in collaboration with a company called 𝗟𝗯. So they co-developed it with us. They're a big DoD contractor. They do what they call trustworthy computing for the DoD, and trustworthy computing is basically cryptography. So we're able to verify that you have proven that you're a human, a unique human, without having any information about you whatsoever. And so that's really powerful, right? And so now I can create these signatures. It's now on the other side. And they can be a QR code. For a QR code, sure, you have to go fetch the data because there's not enough data actually in the QR code. We also have a thing called a JAB code, which is a giant colorful thing where all the data is actually in the image, and you don't have to go fetch anything from any server anywhere.
Nice.
And it's totally privacy protecting.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, so now that we know that you're you, who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Oh my God!
Background. Yeah. Well, so
we told you. We told you. We forget about the intros. We get excited.
Exactly. We get excited. So tell us who you are. Tell us your background, and I'd love to hear what's been your journey to get here. You know,
yes.
Who did something to you when that you're like, I've got to do this.
Well, so I started out as in the research department of a speech recognition startup, employee number 5. I got to go, we were building a cool new variation of speech recognition. I got to go talk to customers, build cool stuff, and come back. After I heard what they wanted, I could go build it. bring it back and say, hey, look at this cool thing. And they would say, great. And I loved it. And then the company got big and I stayed in the research department, and that wasn't so much fun. But I did manage to get 6 patents awarded. Pretty cool. I won an Emmy because it turns out the work we were doing was useful for the television industry.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Actually, I should have brought the statue up.
You should have brought it. Yeah.
To the office. But
yeah.
I have a little statue on the mantle.
Nice.
And had a lot of fun building cool new stuff. Right. That's what that was all about, was building cool new stuff. And then the company got big and I didn't get to talk to anybody anymore. I just had to go build stuff, and that wasn't so much fun for me anymore. So I got an MBA, went and spent 7 years at Deloitte, which was entirely awesome working in their innovation lab. I have to give huge props to Deloitte. That is an amazing company.
It is. Do you know 𝗧𝗵𝗲 there? He's now the CMO of US.
No,
Okay.
no. I was in the innovation lab and did not talk to the marketing side folks.
Ah, okay. Got it.
They didn't let you talk to people?
Yeah.
Well, I got to talk to
They're innovating. No,
Yeah,
look, Deloitte's really a remarkable company. They really are.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Anyway,
Yeah.
then I got pulled away because of I wanted to go work on cool new tech, and I wound up in a blockchain company. And while there, I got to go build something cool for the United Nations. Like the United Nations asked us to build something on a blockchain.
Wow.
Which is actually pretty cool. And the problem they had was that they wanted a bunch of countries to be able to work together on climate stuff. But there was no country they could put a server in that everybody would agree to use. So they wanted something that was fully, the proper term is decentralized, but fully, each and every country could run their own little computer and be able to participate fully on their own and on their own terms. I built that. It's called the Climate Action Data Trust, climateactiondata.org. It currently has 95% of all of the climate action projects in the world. And the cool thing about it is that there is no single central server.
Yeah.
While I was there, though, I got the bug. I figured out people could have a real identity that they owned. There's a cryptographic key that can be embedded in your phone in a way that can never be removed, and you can actually attach an identity to that. And I saw the AI wave coming, and I was like, oh my God, people are going to need to know who's real.
That people are people. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought about it, and one day I just left a job as vice president of customer success, and no income for way too long.
We know this feeling.
Yes.
And I can say I'm really proud of what we've built to get us here.
Awesome.
That's incredible. Is this your first startup?
This is the first startup I've founded.
Yeah, you founded.
Yep.
I find this fascinating. I love, especially first-time founders. What is the biggest difference, or like, what's been your biggest insight as a founder, where you're like, you go to do something and you realize you're not at Deloitte, right? Like, what's been the biggest difference between, being, having those resources and this? Like, what's the biggest difference?
Oh, wow. Biggest? Well, pretty much everything's different. Resources are really, really thin. You have, as a startup, you have 2 things in your life. You do fundraising and you do selling. And that's pretty much all you do. And by the way, somewhere in there, you're supposed to build the product.
I was going to say, on the weekends, you build the product.
And you have to build a legitimate company, and like, there's lots of stuff you have to sign, and accountants and lawyers, and there's a lot of stuff that is in the way of you and doing what you want to do. Honestly, I wouldn't have started a company if I didn't feel like this is something the world needed, and that there wasn't anybody else who could do it safely, right? To where we can protect people's identity so they can actually maintain privacy, like on a really, really deep level, protect their privacy. Most companies don't want to protect people's privacy. They want to gather up all your data.
Yep.
I want to give you a chance to protect yourself. I want to create something that people could use, and I had to do it. So here I am.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Who are your main customers?
So right now, we need to talk a little bit about which products are out and which products are not out. So we have a few people who have already started signing their podcasts, signing videos that they put up on YouTube and Instagram. And that is a simple way to protect from deepfakes, right? Someone basically hijacking your likeness, hijacking, to advocate something else for something.
Oh.
But our product right now is currently Apple only. And we, because we haven't released Android, we haven't released a couple of the key features that we think it needs before it really goes big. We've currently got a referral code requirement. So you have to do the referral code in order to get in to the free tier. The subscription tiers, if you join a subscription tier and you tell us, hey, I'm a subscriber and I'm having this issue, get a whole lot of support while we get that solved. So who are our customers right now? We have a lot of people who are queued up to start using it as soon as we launch broadly. So a couple things on that. I believe in a week and a half, we should be releasing Android, at which point you're going to, there's a bunch of stuff that comes in that release besides just Android. And in about 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks, we're going to be releasing 𝗏𝗏bot Server. 𝗏𝗏bot Server is something that you can put on a website to be able to go check, hey, is this a human, right? Because CAPTCHA is dead, right? Anything a human can do in a couple of seconds, AI can do, right? It's and all of the reasons companies wanted CAPTCHA, those didn't go away.
Right.
Right? And so having a way to be able to truly know that that a person is a human, that's a big deal. Having a way to truly know that maybe they're over 16, that's the new thing for social media. I don't know if you've seen Meta is now gathering up people's driver's licenses. Like, this is Cambridge Analytica company, right? Is getting your driver's license and you trust them with that?
Wow.
Right? I mean, their history of protecting people is not so good.
Not so good.
And now they're going to have your driver's license? Really? We have a lot of these things where a lot of these companies, to try to comply with age restrictions, are busy gathering up ever more data. With 𝗏𝗏bot Server, they don't have to, right? Now there is a reasonable way for people to get to verify age, or there will be in a month and a half a way for websites to be able to verify age without gathering up all your personal data, right? That's huge, right? And without having a way to track you from website to website. That's the other thing 𝗏𝗏bot does, is you have aliases. If you want to be, 𝗏𝗏Murphy from She Leads AI on 37 sites, that's fine. You have one alias you use on all of them. If you don't want to be tracked, well, by default, you get a new alias for every website you go to. No problem, right? You cannot be tracked because they're all different aliases. It's that kind of stuff that the world needs. And, especially as the AI gets better and better at crunching your data, there's a lot of data centers going up. Right? It would be really good if you could protect some of your data.
Yep.
So I think this is the sort of thing I think the world needs. Yeah.
Would you mind, I know that it can be kind of a buzzkill, but would you mind articulating some of the problems that we are avoiding by ensuring that people know that we're us? What are some of the bad things that happen when you're not really who you are?
Well, I mean, so Oprah Winfrey, for example. She got deep faked so she was busy out there selling diet pills. People were paying $300 to some random, heaven only knows what, because Oprah said these diet pills worked. Right? That's a problem. There's a Sanjay Gupta got on, had to spend 1.5 minutes on CNN to just to tell everybody, hey, that wasn't me selling homeopathic Alzheimer's cures, right?
Yep.
And the only thing he could say at the time was, I wouldn't do that, and you should know I wouldn't do that. That was the best he could offer.
Right.
Right. Where it would be much better if, he could sign things. And pretty much everybody with any public persona right now, right, they're just waiting for the deep fake of them to come up that is damaging. And then what do you do about it? Well, okay, so the deep fake is out there. It's getting some traction. People are starting to see it. Do you respond to the deep fake and give it oxygen? And now more people are aware of this deep fake because you actually went out and told people, hey, there's a deep fake. Right? Or do you not say anything about it and let it continue to gain momentum? You really don't have anything you can do as a public figure proactively until 𝗏𝗏bot, right? Now, if all of your followers know you sign your stuff, right, then as soon as something comes up that isn't signed, oh, we see that isn't signed, or it's incorrectly signed, and your followers can shut it down and denounce it even before you ever hear about it, and even before it goes viral. It is literally the only thing public figures can do to proactively protect themselves from deepfakes.
That's really good. There's from the audience here, Ken. I'm curious about this too. What are your thoughts on World ID and the biometric stuff that they're doing, the orb and WorldCoin, and just what are your thoughts on them? How are you different than them? Have you considered going down the biometric route? Is that still an option? Just curious where you are on who they are and what they do.
So I have a lot of problems with that project. That I don't care to air here. But basically, you have to remember what World ID was for. World ID, like it was published, what it was said it was there for was to create a universal basic income for all of the white collar workers displaced by AI. Right? It's like when you are literally functionally useless, that was the assumption, then OpenAI would be able to provide you with some of the spoils that they're getting from doing all the work for you. It's a pretty dystopian view, but that's literally what it was made for. That's why there's WorldCoin, and why they pay you to sign up, and then they pay you periodically afterwards. Right. This is the sort of the start of the universal basic income thing that WorldCoin was designed to do. Now, and you have to also stop and think. Sam Altman is another one of these folks who hasn't exactly been careful with other people's data, careful with other people's copyright. Sora, he's clearly perfectly happy to use people's, name, image, and likeness in fakes. So, I mean, we don't pay people to sign up, right? It's that's not a thing. There's a lot of unfortunate incentives that happen once you start paying people to sign up. And the biometric thing, well, in the US, you can't take biometrics off of minors, right? So that immediately makes them 18 and up. Well, right now we enroll with passports. In the future, we'll be able to enroll in person. And because we never touch a biometric, we never have biometrics, you'll see our app has a 4+ age rating because we have no data. We're not gathering any data off of you. It is safe for kids too, for that reason. And so we're really trying to, be trying to protect people and give an alternative.
Got it. Beautiful. Let me ask you something about, I hallucinated earlier that systems like OpenClaw now and Moltbook and all these things, these sort of agent systems that spin up agents, I sort of hallucinated forward that those things are going to at some point have faces and voices and things like that. Is that correct? Do you feel that that's coming too? And how quickly? And what do you think it looks like when it goes from, hey, if I want to do a deep fake of Anne Murphy, I can do that, and how is that different than farms of these agents being able to do the same thing?
So yes, it's coming. And it's a natural and reasonable thing, right? As humans, we interact well with something that looks human, that we can talk to, right? We've already got the ability to talk to it. Well, take that interaction to the next step and make it more comfortable. That is a reasonable thing to do. The flip side is that now it can go look like some specific human, but if it could create I don't know if you remember, this person does not exist.org. I don't know if you remember that one. Right.
Synthesized people,
Right. If it could create a synthesized, face and voice and you could interact with it as an individual thing, that would be really valuable. But it needs an identity, right? And that's how we, at the beginning, at the top of this, we jumped ahead to HonestBot. Those things are going to need an identity. And I hadn't meant to go here, but okay. One of the things that we built is that HonestBot is an identity that cannot be shared by two processes. So even on a single computer, two processes cannot have the same identity. They may both have access to the same cryptographic key, but they cannot both have the same identity. And that's, I think, a really powerful thing. It's like, especially when you imagine, these AIs, people are also working rapidly on humanoid robots, right? The obvious thing, we're going to put AIs into humanoid robots, and they're going to be, assistants around the house maybe, or, any of the thousands of things that they want to do with them. They're going to have names. Are they all the same agent? Do they have all the same permission? Do they all have, the same person they're working for or not? Do you know who it's working for? When we can actually establish that and say, this AI agent, this process on this machine, right, has this privileges and this, these things, that's when you get to really being able to trust an AI agent or AI embedded in a robot or, or whatever, even if online you can't tell the difference from them and a human.
Two things. One is I want to shout out Herb and Rick for their fantastic questions, and also the other people on YouTube watching us live. Thank you. We appreciate you very, very much. We appreciate all of our listeners. I would be curious to hear, Ken, about your own personal data hygiene. If you wouldn't mind sharing with us, what do you do to make sure that people know who you are and that you know who people are and that your stuff is kind of safe? What are some of the tips besides getting not bought?
So first off, I use 1Password.
Okay.
You should be doing that.
We are. We're going to.
It's going to take you an entire afternoon to move all of your things into 1Password, and it's worth doing. Please do it.
Okay.
And let it have automatically generated long passwords and all of that. Passkeys were available. All that goes into 1Password, just because, it makes a giant honeypot. Yes, 1Password has a lot of data. They can't decrypt it. Literally, without your password on your device, that data is, is unavailable to anybody. So it's only on your device that gets away. So that's one. Two, I use a VPN. Specifically, I use 𝗦𝗵𝗲. I don't know if there's a bunch of them. Proton. There's definitely some that you might trust more and some that you might trust less. I happen to choose 𝗦𝗵𝗲. All of my stuff is all connected with wires. I am a big believer in wires. So I don't have wireless mice. I don't have wireless keyboards. I don't have any of that. I have.
And that's because those are all attack vectors.
And the less I can open up, the better. So my keyboard, right, that I plug into my computer, right, there's no question what that is. It's because think about it. You type your password on your keyboard.
Right.
Your keyboard, if it's if it's wireless, there's a signal going through that wireless connection that has your password in it. Now, these days I trust enterprise network encryption, but Bluetooth Low Energy, the encryption your keyboard is capable of, I don't know. Maybe I won't do that. Right. So those are some of the things I try to close accounts that I'm not using, which is really helpful actually in 1Pass, because you can see all these old accounts. Close them, right? Because all of those companies are happy to sit on your data for whatever interactions you had with them all those years ago.
Wow.
Right. But if you close the account, they generally cannot. So yeah, there's a lot of data hygiene in there that I think is good for most folks to try to do.
These are not horribly inconvenient things that you do either. You're not wearing tinfoil or something, or you know what I mean? Like I have mine. This is because I'm Gen X. My mouse is attached by a cord to my computer.
Right.
Now I know. It's for safety purposes.
Yes.
You get good data hygiene as a result, right?
Man.
Wow. Well, why don't we shift gears here? So one of the things we do every episode is we ask our guests the same question. And that question is this: what does AI readiness mean to you? And so if you think about just what that is, there's no wrong answer. And also, what would you say to someone just getting started with AI, just trying to get into this game, figure it out? What is AI readiness?
Honestly, I probably should have thought of that ahead of time. I think, so first off, AI readiness might be, trying to figure out what you think you can and cannot trust. I have to say that as CEO of Julia Social and 𝗏𝗏bot. The other thing, I think AI readiness is play with it, use it, do stuff, go. What I have found is that the best way for me to really understand what AI can and cannot do is to spend time changing up how I interact with it. Like, how do you structure what you give it? How do you structure what you ask of it? Right. Yeah. Because if you give it something, if you have something big to AI, it's going to go off in all kinds of weird directions. If you have it carefully take things one step at a time because you're feeding it bits and pieces one step at a time, that's something that I have found has worked. But so AI readiness for a person, in my opinion, probably has a lot to do with spending the time to really understand how to get the most out of it, because this is a part of our everyday lives from now on. Don't pretend it's going away.
Yeah.
I don't imagine any of your listeners would, but
that's awesome. That's awesome. So one final thing here is not bot aside, Julia Social aside, what is something in AI right now you're most excited about, or like trend you're hearing about, something going on in AI that you're most excited about?
I know. So the thing that actually is probably the most exciting to me is that there's a couple of parallel efforts, to be able to introduce larger and larger context windows, and then B, to do not just RAG, where you're gathering up some of that knowledge into a separate database, but actually to like retrain the model, tune the model, right? Those kinds of projects, that's huge. There's a huge unlock in there.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to see what's going to happen there. To answer the flip question, if I may, OpenClaw and Moltbook and those kinds of things, my greatest fear is around security, right? Like MCP doesn't have a good security model that's really appropriate for AI agents. Right. And we really aren't ready from a security perspective
for what's here,
for what is like, here now.
Here now, not coming.
And I think there's going to be some really, really unfortunate losses that happen as we learn
our lessons,
how to manage that. Yeah.
Absolutely fascinating. Well, this has been just fascinating, Ken. Thank you so much for sharing and giving us some sneak peek into some things that are coming from Julia Social. It sounds amazing.
Coming soon. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
We love a behind the scenes. Now, when can people anticipate getting their hands on a 𝗏𝗏bot QR? Because right now you're referral, and I think we have referral codes. Or we did.
We gave out referral codes from AI Festivus.
Okay.
And those all went out. Awesome. There is a wait list. You can sign up on our website. And at the moment, honestly, I'm sending them out pretty much as they come in.
Okay.
So definitely people can sign up to get a referral code there. And then finally, we'll be opening it up without a referral code when 𝗏𝗏bot server comes out in a little over a month.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Keep up the good work. I know it's incredibly difficult to build and to fundraise and to do sales and attempt to eat, sleep, and exercise. I'm guessing those things do take a little bit of a hit. But on those rough days, know that like the thing that you're doing in the world is so incredibly important.
Yeah.
I mean, you are doing the thing that we must have done, and I really, really appreciate what you have put into this. It's really awesome. I can't wait to share it with the world.
Yep. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you so
congratulations.
much. And thanks for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Cheers, Ken.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.